Tonight on the MTN News, missing in Montana.
I miss your pretty smile. I miss you, sweet. Come home.
6 months after a 13-year-old disappeared, her family not giving up hope. Also sounding the alarm.
After I woke up, Dr. Yaz come in and says, I think we got something that's concerning here.
One man sharing his story in hopes of helping others and catching up with the cats. Montana State's ladies getting ready for their date in the big dance. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. It has been 6 months since a 13-year-old girl on the Crow Reservation seemingly vanished. Tonight, our Haley Monaco is checking back in on that case as the FBI, the Sheriff's Office, and many others continue to investigate the troubling disappearance of Swade Burdenground.
Just down the road here in Gary Owen is the home that 13-year-old Swade Burdenground disappeared from nearly 6 months ago. But her father says he isn't giving up hope.
I really miss her.
On October 6th of last year, Wade Burdenground's life changed overnight.
My mom called me and told me she was gone.
His 13-year-old daughter with autism disappeared.
I miss your pretty smile. I miss you, sweet. Come home.
Search parties for Swade came out in full force after she went missing, from air to ground and water teams, looking all around the family home where she was last seen.
They also bring a dog, another one. They took it that way, but there was nothing.
But there's no new information.
And there's still nothing. We had a lot of resources. And just like what the FBI told me, they ruled out that she's here.
Swade left behind her phone, which family gave to the FBI to search.
They did take her phone. They didn't get nothing off of it. And that was my only lead.
A spokesperson for the FBI tells MTN News they're actively working on Swade's case and encourage anyone with information to call the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office or the Salt Lake City FBI.
We believe she was abducted. I just don't get how a 13-year-old would take off in this big world.
Burdenground says Swade was doing great in school and was even thinking about trying out basketball before she went missing.
I pray every day. I wake up, ask the Lord for help. Tell him to share my strength with her. We're not giving up.
And he remains hopeful that one day she will return.
She's alive. I know it. Just gotta find her.
In Gary Owen, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
A bill aimed at keeping biological men out of women's sports programs in Montana is now headed to Governor Greg Gianforte's desk. The Senate passed HB 300, which prohibits biological men from participating in women's programs and also requires sex-segregated facilities based on biological sex. Republican Senator Sue Vinton of Billings said, quote, HB 300 keeps the focus on women's sports on women, not on radical gender ideology. Not a single Democrat voted in favor of the legislation. Republicans have said it's a nationwide problem, even though the president of the National College Athletic Association, or NCAA, told the Senate panel back in December there are fewer than 10 transgender athletes playing college sports since 2023 out of more than 1,000 colleges. A teenager whose actions led to one of Montana's worst wildfires last summer will spend 3 years on probation but serve no jail time. The Horse Gulch fire near Canyon Ferry Reservoir burned 15,000 acres and cost around $20 million to suppress. A pilot was also killed fighting that fire. Court documents state a group of teens had been shooting off bottle rockets. When the fire ignited, they thought it was out, but it then flared back up. The teen, who was 17 at the time and is now 18, will be on probation until he's 21. The Lewis and Clark County Sheriff a little frustrated with the sentence.
I felt let down. There are laws that restrict the amount of punishment that you can give a juvenile. I understand that, but I felt frustrated.
The county attorney's office says they are still looking to file charges against 2 other juveniles in that case. After a long, cold winter for many parts of the country, spring is officially upon us. That doesn't always mean a whole lot here in Montana and Wyoming, though, with our weather. Let's get a first look at the forecast from meteorologist Jason Stiff now.
Well, we're now about 19 hours into the spring season. Not too shabby all in all. We've had some light rain showers, also some more snow over the mountains, some more snow over the Bighorns right now, pushing east and southeast of Sheridan. Rain showers around Colstrip as well as Forsyth, getting closer to Miles City too. Still some lingering snow showers over the east slopes of the Beartooth, but it's beginning to come to an end. And also where we have the warmer air, actually in the northeastern part of the state, it's been almost all rain showers where we had some of the warmest highs of the entire region today. So things are going to start winding down as far as precipitation is concerned for tonight, but we also have a lot more active weather going forward. As far as today, for the Magic City, we're a little bit but we're close to average. It took us a while to get up to 50 degrees. We finally did. Had a relatively mild low of 36. Trace amounts of rain, but plenty of wind. We have a lot more wind in the forecast, as well as other chances for rain and mountain snow. I'll have a complete 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
The Colstrip Power Plant receives a lifeline as the Trump administration rolls back pollution regulations adopted by the Biden administration. The Environmental Protection Agency announced a review of the mercury and air toxins rule. The intent is to limit emissions of heavy metals and other toxic materials that become airborne when coal is burned. The following day, the Interior Department announced an expansion of Montana's largest coal mine. Republican elected officials in Montana have long pushed for the continued operation of Colstrip. However, conservation groups criticize the decisions, arguing the rollbacks will damage Montana's clean air and water. President Trump is taking the first steps towards fulfilling his campaign promise of getting rid of the Department of Education. Trump signed an executive order to begin the process of dismantling the department.
We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good. We want to return our students to the states.
The administration says services such as student loans and Pell Grants will remain at the Department of Education for now. Trump still needs congressional approval to completely dissolve the agency. And some big changes are on the horizon. For those using Social Security, the agency is now requiring in-person office visits, all in the name of preventing fraud. MTN's Isabel Spartz has more on the changes coming and why some advocacy groups are concerned about the impact they could have.
Vanita Cox is filling a service that we may often take for granted.
I give people rides. I'm a volunteer for the rides program.
She offers up her vehicle several times a week for a senior in need through the Adult Resource Alliance's Volunteer Rides program.
I have had people try to tip me, which of course I won't take. It is fun. I get to be friends with them, you know, and they are always so fun to visit with.
She helps seniors like Pamela Greenfield get to where they need to go, like to buy her weekly groceries.
It's made such a positive and important difference in my life. I'm very happy I found out about it.
And soon, one of those locations may be the Social Security office. Beginning on March 31st, recipients will no longer be able to verify their identity over the phone, instead having to go in person or online. The changes will mainly impact those filing for the first time or those who need to change their bank information.
Social Security is a lot of good, but it's hard for folks to navigate that.
But for many seniors, getting to the office might be a challenge.
In our area, there's regional offices for Social Security, so that means if you live outside of Billings in any distance, you're driving all the way into Billings to make those changes.
Tyler Amundsen with Big Sky Senior Services and Erica Purington with the Adult Resource Alliance serve thousands of seniors in Yellowstone County, but they're concerned that the change will impact those who can't get the necessary transportation.
There is a growing concern, and the need is big. Ability to serve is always crunched.
The Rides program utilizes hundreds of volunteers and will be looking for more within the coming weeks to help fill this need, as the increased demand for the service could stretch them thin.
It's about caring for people on both sides, you know, so we can care for the volunteer and empower them to really care for a senior and provide the services that are necessary and needed.
The Social Security changes may bring some uncertainty, but these nonprofits and volunteers like Vanita will continue to help however they can.
You're helping somebody else, whether you believe it or not, by getting out and helping.
I could probably do more rides than what I do, and I would be more than willing to help out with that.
In Billings, Isabel Sparts, MTN News.